Hey everyone, and welcome to the Student-Centered World podcast. I am hoping that today's podcast is a moment of woosah for you, if you will. So a lot of the teachers that I have been talking to have been saying that they are beyond frustrated and exhausted because their schools or their districts keep changing the rules as they're playing the game. So how a lot of schools started the school year has changed. Some districts have said that things are going to be one way and then abruptly change to something else. There are kids coming and going depending on what the protocols are for your school, and it's throwing everybody for a loop. So this past summer, I had done a series on how to do blended learning, and one of the things that I preached over and over during that series was that if you prepare for a blended learning classroom environment, then it doesn't matter if your school is online, it doesn't matter if you're hybrid or if you are 100% in the classroom. The lesson plan that you create for a hybrid learning environment will work for all three of those situations. So we're getting into a time now that things are changing. We haven't really settled into what the new normal is yet, and we still need to be prepared at a moment's notice for things to change again. So what I wanted to talk about a little bit today is the concept of how to create lessons that prepare for all of the scenarios. So everybody, I don't want to say got into a negative groove, because most people finally found something that was working in some fashion and was running with it. But then when things change, they're starting over from scratch again. If you can plan moving forward with a blended model in mind, you will be able to successfully teach in every single environment that could change. You know, you go home one night and you find out the next day it's different, or hey, in 2 weeks we're switching, or, you know, whatever comes your way. So I wanted to take some time right now to give you some food for thought, to think about how you can do that moving forward. And that way, at least until everything does move to the new normal, you have a plan in place for no matter what comes your way.
Welcome to the Student-Centered World podcast, where we talk about all things hands-on teaching and keeping your energy and sanity in the classroom. This teacher turned consultant is making it her mission to help as many teachers as possible become the best version of themselves and keep their passion for teaching on fire. It's her hope that we never forget why we desire to have a passion for educational progress. This is Student-Centered World, and this is Jen Bry Soccer.
What I wanted to touch on today, as I've said now, if you had $1 for every time I've said it, you wouldn't have to worry about school this year, but blended learning is the only model that you can do 100% in the classroom, hybrid, or distance. So who knows what's going to happen? But if you're planning out a kind of, got the wheels turning about what you can do for that outside of the classroom experience, then take the in-class experience, but figure out how you can be doing it digitally as well. So some of the things that I had mentioned before, is it something that you could have a whole group discussion or a debate or, some type of a simulation or whatever on Zoom or Google Meets? Can you create breakout rooms where the kids have to go and solve whatever based on the information that was brought in, etc.? Can you create escape rooms? You can do them in the breakout rooms, but like if you make an escape room assignment, they're very, very popular, very trendy right now. If you go on Teachers Pay Teachers or Pinterest or anything, you'll see like a bazillion things come up, or you can make your own. I've made them in Google Forms before, and that's really fun. And again, they can work on them in the groups, the digital groups, no issue. Can you create a scavenger hunt? Can you create real life experiences within their house? So, we just learned about this concept. Go around your house, try to find something and then bring it, and everybody can kind of present what they found. Or If you're doing measurements, can you cook something with measurements and record yourself? You could do a flip grid. You could just record on your phone. You can add it in, share it, screen share. There's a lot of different options like that. We're very much thinking outside of the box. Are trainings that are available in the Student-Centered World Mastermind group. If you haven't checked them out, this is a place where you can find some great ideas as well. In the group, again, if you just go on Facebook and search Student-Centered World Mastermind, in that group, under the Units tab, we have 39 different trainings that we put together in the spring to help people with different platforms or apps or concepts or, different things that you could be doing while distance learning. And you could feel free to go in there. The first bunch of them are actually recorded by people who are in that mastermind group, and then other ones I filtered in from YouTube if people had heard about something but wasn't familiar with the platform enough to be able to record a video on it. But go in there, check those out, come up with some ideas. And I know now me giving you these ideas is even more to digest. But at the current juncture that we're in, I don't really necessarily see that as a problem as much as a solution. So again, I keep talking about mindset shifts. Perfect example. You now have at your disposal all these ideas, and it might seem overwhelming, but stop and break them down. Mind map a little bit. You can take a piece of paper and just start drawing ideas and figures and, arrows. It doesn't have to be pretty. I learned once that if you take different Post-it notes, I have a wall, I'll take different Post-it notes, and as I have ideas that kind of flow, I'll write things down, and it might be color-coded by markers or the Post-it notes themselves, just to try to map out what I have going on in my head to piece it together and then go from there. You have a lot of ideas at your disposal. When you're coming up with the stuff to do in the classroom, even if you come up with these ideas like I was just talking about, that's all stuff that you could still do in the classroom. You can do it digitally or you can do it in the classroom. So you just want to make sure that you are coming up with lesson plans in all of this, that no matter what suddenly switches, it's not hard for you to make that transition. And I had mentioned before that a lot of the teachers that I had worked with pre-pandemic said that once they went distance, it wasn't that hard. Everybody did distance learning in the spring, so it's not like this is brand new. Everybody's done it before, and everybody, kids, parents, teachers, will be more prepared for it. Have a little bit more time to digest it and sort of know how things work. You're not learning all of it at once unless you teach kindergarten, and then everything is a big learning curve anyway, for sure. But sit on that for a little while. If you need to start mapping out your thoughts, make sure that you do that. But if you have questions or comments or concerns, let me know. Happy to help, happy to do whatever I can. That's why I'm doing this to begin with.
So as always, you can find me on Instagram or Facebook at Student Centered World. You can send me an email, admin@studentcenteredworld.com. And of course, you can join the Facebook Mastermind group that we've talked about. Just on Facebook, you can search for Student-Centered World Mastermind. We have a ton of people in there that love to bounce ideas off one another. And it's been a really, really helpful and kind group to be a part of. That's actually one of the requirements. You can't go in there and be a Debbie Downer or a naysayer or somebody who just, pokes the bear and causes problems. You have to be nice and you have to be respectful and constructive. So everybody in there fits that criteria quite well. So I hope to connect with you through one of those avenues, and I hope that you are going to have yourself a wonderful week, and I will see you again next Saturday at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for another episode of the Student Centered World podcast. Take care.